Teamwork, I would say it's probably the most important part of what we do, just because in any work environment, it's so important to have relationships with your coworkers and of course your managers as well, but we're really able to help each other with different perspectives of things. We all, have good relationships with each other and help each other grow and build and really share personal experiences because of course, management, they're very successful, they know a lot, but they're also not in our exact positions, so it's always nice to learn what are people in the same position as you doing, how are they doing things differently, what's the similarities, where are they finding success. So I do feel like teamwork is very important and having that relationship with others in the office as well. With sales, of course, there is an aspect of the luck of finding the right person at the right time who has the need for what we do, who has pain points in getting in front of these executives. So there of course is that aspect, but the way that it's not solely luck is that if you're not consistently reaching out to these people, consistently creating opportunities for yourself to have calls with people, to be emailing them, LinkedIning them, you're never going to find the right person at the right time unless you just stay extremely consistent, and it's a numbers game. So the more people you're reaching out to, the faster and more likely you are to find that one person who it really is just a great fit for them. So we, in San Diego, we have a very small office. I think there's about 8 of us. And then we have 2 managers. We have Tim, who's my direct manager, and then we also have Mark Rosenberg, who's also the COO of the company. And we don't have separate cubicles. There's nothing that creates barriers between anyone. So we really, we see them, we hear everything they say to their clients, we hear what they say to each other about their clients. I feel like I know their clients personally sometimes because, we're all just right there. And so if we have a question of any kind, I don't even have to stand up from my desk. And of course, they're managers, they've worked their way up, they've been in my position and have, over the years become their position. So, it's great to hear their successes and it's, inspiring. And sometimes it can be a little hard, you forget, sometimes it feels impossible, but of course, Mark's been here for 25 years and he wouldn't be if he wasn't successful, and Tim's at 10 years. So I think it's really just having a small office with no separation where we just have a lot of access to them. I would say training, it's becoming a little bit more consistent than it has been in the past, which is, of course, a positive thing. But I honestly feel like I love hearing, some strategies and whatnot, but I think just doing it is the best learning and training you can have, because the more times you do it, the better you get. Our pitches can be as long as 45 minutes to an hour, and no matter what training you do, that will come down to you, how you are on the phone and how you're able to relay the script within your own words. So I think training, of course it is important, but it's also a lot of self-driven aspect, but that's sales across the board. No one's gonna force you to do anything, and it's kind of up to you to take that initiative to ask the questions and to just keep doing it until you get it and not be afraid. It comes down to, it's really about the outreach. So for myself, I have very strict KPIs that whether it's my emails, my calls, and my LinkedIn's, and I have separate times of the day where I do it. I think time management is extremely important, and not saying to yourself, oh, you know what, today it's fine, I'm not gonna do that much, tomorrow I'll pick it back up, which of course if you have a lot going on, that's something that you can do, but it really helps to just have the mentality that I have these KPIs, these are the amount I want to get done today, and to just make sure that you push yourself to get it done. And if it's too easy for you, maybe you can up the numbers a bit, because the more people you reach out to, the more likely you're going to find that one person that will become a deal for you. So Mark says a saying that I really like, with every no, you're one step closer to a yes, because statistically, you'll get a yes after a certain amount of no's. But I think it's really just about moving on. I'm a very positive person. I'm positive in the office, and as long as you're doing the outreach and you're setting up a lot of calls, you're doing a lot of cold calls, inevitably you'll find someone to say yes. As long as you're consistently doing outreach and you're consistently setting up calls, I'm averaging out at quite a few calls set up in a day. So one no, I'm completely unaffected by it because I just move on and I have more calls scheduled, I have more people to connect with. So I really don't let it get to me at all because I just move on. But if you don't have a lot of calls set up and you're doing one call every 2 weeks, then it is going to be a lot harder to deal with that no because you feel like it's the only thing you have going on. So I think the best way to combat that feeling is to really just strive to have the most calls you can and just move on from it. I think seeing their success is very helpful, learning a lot from them, but I'm also just very close to the management in our office. I like them as people, and I know about their children and their lives outside of work, and they're human beings. It's not, I've worked places where it's like the management is just these people that have this huge guard up and you're not comfortable coming to them or asking them questions. I have a very high level of comfortability with my management, so they do help me grow a lot, and I'll walk over to their desk with any question. I'm not ever scared to ask either of them a question, whether it's my direct manager or Mark's been here for 25 years, and they also have differing opinions and ways that they do things, way that they deal with things. So it's nice to get both of their perspectives, and you can always kind of find the middle ground, or maybe you resonate more with one or the other. Positivity. If you're there and you're being very negative, that relays into everything you do in your life, not just in work, outside of work. Being negative about a situation is going to make the situation suck. So for me, I think, just staying positive, trying to build relationships with them, learn about each other as people, not just as coworkers. And that kind of plays into how much we all help each other and how we're so happy to sit down. If one of my coworkers, I'm obviously not their manager, but if they have a question for me, I'm more than happy to help them out and do that sort of thing. And I'm also an open person, so I just like creating new friendships, and I think everyone stays engaged when it's a positive environment. The summits are a great time for sure, and getting to travel with work is something amazing, and it's my first travel job, so that's really cool. It's been a great experience learning what that's like. But I think one of my favorite things is, it's not a specific story, but I get so excited for the summits because I get to see people in other offices that I never see, we never talk, but the second we're all on site, we're hugging, we're best friends. I feel like I've known them for years, It's like we hang out every day, but we just have these 2 to 3 days together where it's like a reunion of everyone, and we all just have a lot of fun, and it's really cool. I mean, I've made relationships with people in Cyprus and Barbados, in France. We have people in Canada, Chicago, New York. So it's just really cool, the relationships you build with these people where, I couldn't have ever told you someone that lived in Cyprus until I started this job. So that's one of my favorite aspects.